What's up, y'all? Happy Wednesday. Listen, I'm getting old as fuck. I was supposed to say, what day is it? Happy
It's
Wednesday.
hump day.
Listen, welcome to a new episode of Transcending The Culture. I am James. I got my girl Cat Queen with me, and we are after about a 3-week hiatus, 4-week hiatus?
Yes.
Listen, it is so good to be back. We got an amazing show for you guys tonight. I am really excited. I'm really excited about just the changes that are going on with not just Transcending the Culture, but with the entire podcast network as a whole and the radio station. We are doing some amazing things. We got a lot of stuff lined up for the summer. We've made a few changes with the podcast network, and more notably, Transcending the Culture. I would say that we have a better structure just in terms of the podcast, you know, how we come in, what we talk about, the things that we are doing, the guests that we have on the show. We have a lot of people lined up. We have been getting to shows and meeting with different celebrities and whatnot, and just having really, really good conversation about people coming on, new faces coming on to the podcast, because we definitely have, you know, the extended family who has supported Transcendent Culture for the last 2 years. So we got a whole lot of stuff coming. We are approaching episode 100. So we are like on episode 93 right now, which is like super amazing. Like I'm like, I was going to say overjoyed. Like I'm so excited and so happy just about where Transcendent the Culture has gone, just because, like, I know y'all remember when I did the first episode and I was like a deer in the headlights. I had never done live before. Like, people was looking like, why you look mad and why you not smiling and what's wrong? Like, what the? And he fidgeted, and I was just like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. I hadn't really done it before. So it's really, really cool. Like, we have made some great strides. We've had some really amazing people on here. Kim Whitley, Major has been on the podcast. So many other people. Like, we've had a chance to cover some amazing movies, amazing shows that have been on platforms like Tubi, Apple TV. We actually just did one last week for a reality series that you guys can actually catch a video clip of my interview with the cast of this show on Instagram. It's on my Instagram at Authentically James. So you guys can go on there and check that out. And there's so many other things that are going on. So much happening in the news. You know, obviously this Diddy trial is going on. It's on day like 200 now, or what day is it on?
We've been covering it literally since the beginning of the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's been a while. It's been a while.
This shit done got me on TikTok. And you know I don't be on TikTok. I've actually been on TikTok now, which actually is how we got our first guest on the show. And like, we've been talking to him. We've been talking to him for a minute now. So like, it's really, really get him on the show. Some shit done went down, like, even in the last 24 hours that y'all gonna be tripping on. If y'all
listen, we got some exclusive with our boy Timbuktu. Listen, viral. You know, he had his wonderful performance at the Funny Bone. And if you guys check out my Instagram at Cat Queen, I definitely posted that he got his seal of approval from Mr. Michael Collier. And it just was like, amazing.
And of all people, that's like one of the dopest people to get the seal of approval from is Michael Collier. Like, when I tell you about Michael Collier, and you know, obviously we had the opportunity to spend some time with him and talk to him and all that kind of stuff. But like,
I know he was on your show before. He was
Michael Collier has done he's done actually all of my platforms, and like he been rocking with me for real, for like a decade now. Like I met him. I forgot what I first connected with him for. It might have been like for the magazine. And then when I went and did Essence Fest the first time, which was like maybe 2017, like I walk in and he was there, but he was like, I ain't gonna say he was incognito, but like literally he was sitting at the table like he was sitting
he was incognito. That's what he was.
Like, and I'm like, oh, what you doing here? How you?
Listen, just, you know us. We be like, we spot them and got them. Okay. Yeah, as soon as we see them people. So when we love here at Transcending The Culture, we love our comedians. If you guys don't know, we're at the Funny Bone dang near every weekend. They already know. They be like, what y'all want? Sweet potato fries, mozzarella sticks. Like, what's
we up? Gonna get Bill Bellamy.
Because we gonna be able to see their Bill Bellamy. Now I might get my little shrimp platter and act a little fancy because it's Bill. But yeah, I really was,
shrimp, man.
Listen, I was really impressed by Timbuktu. When we saw him, we were with Reese. So when Reese heard who was going, she was hyping him up like, oh, I can't wait. That's my boy. I can't wait. And Reese, I'm good with Reese. Reese give me drinks, food, music, anything that Reese like, I like. So I'm like, okay, I was plugged in. And he had the crowd in his pocket. He had some snacks in his pocket. Listen, he had everything. So I just really am amazed at a lot of the talent that's in the city right now, and I'm glad that he's on the show. So we're gonna get all the details of that, and especially some viral moments going on. James, what do we have going on in UGD world right now? UGD land.
I think the biggest thing is really just the transition of Transcending the Culture. Of course, we have Open Letters to a Survivor, which is on Sundays, but they're actually on hiatus right now.
Okay.
And the weird thing is that they really did not break it up into seasons. So like they're getting close to 100 episodes too. But
wow,
they really have pretty much just gone straight through. So I think like with life happening and just so much stuff going on right now, like I think they tired. I know that they're having like meetings this week, but I know they're taking a little bit of time off because they didn't do a show this past Sunday, and then we didn't even run an old episode or anything. So I don't know what they're doing this coming Sunday, if we're running an old episode or if they're going to come back and do a new episode this weekend. But we'll find
out. Anybody that's interested in Open Letters to a Survivor, you can check out any of their past shows on UG Digital. We have them on our YouTube here. You can go through. And then also, if you're on Facebook, you can join their Facebook group. And I know they're active daily with just talking strategies, therapy, all type of things. So definitely check that out. And then tomorrow, I will be having a new episode of Cat Got Your Tongue. I will be posting the flyer for tonight. We're going to be having musician from Akron, TZ the Don, aka Fluff Daddy LaFair. So we got all our little fluff daddies and big daddies here, UG Digital this week. So I am excited. Listen, it's hot, but I still need something to keep me a little warm. So let's get into this. Let's get into this. Yes, okay.
Okay.
Listen, I like snacks too. Okay.
Listen, I also want to mention, before we bring our guest in, I also want to mention if there's anybody out there who is looking to, perhaps do a podcast, if you just want to talk about some ideas, reach out to us because we're looking to start bringing more people onto the platform now and doing more podcasts. And I think that, we have some packages and we have some programs that are very inexpensive when you look at a lot of the other podcast networks that are out here. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know of a bunch of networks here in the Cleveland area. I mean, I know of people doing podcasts, but I think a number of them, or most of the people who are doing them, are just kind of doing them for themselves. So I think that we're one of the primary networks here in the city, if we're not the only network in the city. And there's plenty of people in the city who are podcasting. I mean, you obviously have King Teeth who is doing amazing things.
Yes,
it's like an episode. 200 and so, like he's doing some really, really amazing.
He's doing something good. He said he has something new dropping this week. So you guys definitely check in with King Teeth and the King Teeth Network. I just had we got Marks with Mike's podcast just following us. Make sure you guys check him out.
I see people coming in too. I see people.
Yeah, we got a lot of different people coming in. Thank you so much. We got the Glue checking in, and we got Tawan Spencer. Thank you for coming in.
Man, thank y'all. So yeah, we are definitely looking for more people to do podcasts on the network, and then the radio station. We're actually still ironing out some kinks with that. It's running live, but we're ironing out a few kinks before we start bringing people in and doing radio shows and whatnot. So that piece of it is coming, but anybody looking to get into the podcasting side, or you just want to talk about ideas and see what we can do together, I think it'll be dope. Again, we have some really good packages that are very inexpensive when you look at, or when you compare it to the other networks that are out there. So I would love to talk to some of you guys.
Yeah, we have some unique perspectives as well. We've been doing this for a while, and also we will be setting you up basically with everything that you need, so you'll be able to get on there, pop your ish, and get off. You don't have to. Not only that, let us handle all the behind the scenes work for you, okay? Because it's a little that go into this. So definitely join the team,
and not just that piece too, but we also do. I mean, obviously you're going to promote your own stuff, but we also do a lot of the promotion, and we're actually building our network in terms of the guests that we bring on the show, that when we bring them on any of the podcasts, we are promoting and advertising all of our platforms to them. So, when we bring them in with the expectation that we will, shift them around and give them the opportunity or the ability to go to any of the other platforms that are on the network. So that kind of opens the door for you to get a number of people on your show who you may not necessarily have the connection or the relationship with yet. So it's definitely some stuff to talk about if you are interested in doing it. So we do appreciate you guys supporting us week after week. I think that's really about it.
Yeah, that's it. We got all our announcements in, and we are moving on with the next section of the show, which is the interview.
So listen, I actually knew of him before we went to the show with Reese, and I couldn't remember. I mean, I knew I saw him at the Improv, but I just didn't remember like when it was or how far back it was. But nevertheless, like I knew of him, and there's so many other people obviously who know of him now because he does an amazing job down at, formerly the Improv. It's now the Funny Bone. But I'm really, really happy to have our guest on tonight, just because I've been looking at, just his trajectory and what he's been doing and what he does on the stage and the level of confidence that he has to be on the stage with some of these people who come to the shows down there at the Funny. I know I couldn't do it. I mean, I'm damn near just, getting comfortable with sitting here being on camera, and I'm sitting in my own goddamn house. So I couldn't imagine being up there on the stage. Like, when they start asking questions of people in the audience, I'd be like, nah.
I'm like,
right.
Because listen, you get to roasting me. I don't know. We might square up. I don't know. I'm sensitive. That's why I don't sit right up front. I sit good enough so I can see. But right. I don't want them. I don't want them problems. So right. Yeah, so let's bring up the man, the myth, the legend.
What's up, man?
What's up, yo? Man, y'all hype me up. I come on the show every week. I just want to feel good.
Listen, man.
I'm gonna listen to this. I will listen to this first 14 minutes and just like, this is my daily affirmations. This is amazing right now. Just
listen, so man. I know I said some of this before, before we even went live, but I appreciate you for a lot, man. Like, number one, like, I spoke about the level of confidence that you have on the stage, and like, that shit is like, it's like supreme, man. Like, it just was cool to, the chicken tender thing still get me. Like, but I just think that, obviously you need that type of confidence to be able to get up on stage and face the crowd and tell your jokes and feel comfortable. And obviously, like, you have that, but I think it goes a lot further than that. And I think that you're showing and helping a lot of other people who either want to do comedy or they're trying to do something else in their life. Like, even, coming back to me, we're doing this podcast and shit. And like, when I first started doing the podcast, I didn't have no experience. I had never really done live. I was like a deer in the headlights, like, what's next? Like, people could hear me clicking and shit. The girl I was doing it with, we could hear every tap you doing. Like, stop. And I'm like, oh shit, because I was fidgeting and shit.
Yeah.
Being able to see people like you get up on the stage and like really commend
people
that
like
shit.
me? No,
Like,
what do you mean?
What do you mean people like me? No, and it's funny because like a lot of people tell me that, and I appreciate it like 100%. But it's like I'm really just being me. Like,
right.
I don't want to bring a persona to the stage. I want to bring me to the stage. Yeah, the story may be, I'm not even gonna say exaggerated, but like, a little bit more descriptive because I gotta get you to understand where I'm coming from.
Absolutely.
So I've always been a funny person, so just being able to make people laugh has kind of been like my comfort zone for real. But it's getting down to knowing what that person to laugh at. Like,
Right.
there's so many different crowds, you never know what you're gonna run into. I might say a joke that's completely for a black crowd, and I say it in front of a white crowd, and they like don't say anything. Well, now because I know it's a black reference, I'm like, oh, my bad, y'all. That might have been a little too black. They gonna be like, oh yeah, that wasn't because we didn't get it.
Right,
like,
right.
It's just it's understanding, what you dealing with for the most part, man. And once you get past that, you kind of just be you for real. And that's what I do. I just be me, just trying to be funny, trying to bring snacks, trying to keep people market. That's it. And I left that chicken tender under there a little too long because the second show, that chicken tender was dry. I think it was heated a little too long.
And see, look, we got a comment that said, "Can I get a chicken tender?"
For sure, man. They was handing them out at the crowd. I don't know if you know.
I'm so dead, but that's really a gift to be able to pivot and sometimes when people they joke don't work, they just bomb or they be like, oh, and move on to something else. But you can always still get a laugh another way, like you said, by knowing your audience. So I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Timbuktu, can you turn your phone down just a little tiny bit for me, please?
My bad. I think I had it was where my hands was. My bad.
Oh, okay, good, great, perfect. So did you always know you wanted to be a comedian? Like, were you the class clown, or how did you start off knowing or wanting to be in this business?
So it is kind of funny. I didn't think about being a comedian like as a kid. However, I was all of those things. Class clown, I was definitely joking at the lunch table. That was my favorite place. So every time you get those jokes, you got to roll with it unless you just gonna be a little punk, I guess. But I couldn't do that because going home crying about somebody talking about me. My parents would be like, "Well, did he touch you? But did he touch you? All right,
Yeah.
No. All right, so get over it. We'll make some jokes back." And I mean, I'll be honest, like I caught it worse from the fam. Like my grandma was the first person to call me fat and give me a plate at the same time. Like
grandmas, yes, they will.
Listen, it be the grandparents. It be the grandparents.
My grandma said, "I ain't buying you no more fat clothes."
With your fat self. I'm like, Granny, dang, right. I'm gonna get a plate, but I didn't like that. No.
She don't buy her truck for nothing, man. It was crazy, but I mean, I kind of learned, and as I grow, that it was I guess a gift. I didn't look at it as a gift at that time. Like I just looked at it as me just having fun, like me being me. I definitely was watching like the Ren and Stimpy's, Beavis and Buttheads, like as like a toddler. Like I was watching all those like young. South Park, like all of that. My mom took me to go see the South Park movie. I was 11. Like
really? Yeah.
But we watched it together, like so it was just something we just enjoyed comedy. We enjoyed laughing.
I think that's a very unique comedy. I like that too. Like I grew up on Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead, and that's a very I think that just made us like I feel like the 90s kids is so silly. Like we be laughing at anything. Like we just, everything is funny. Everything is a joke. I think that's why we won't grow up. Like we the new adults, but we refuse to grow up, So I know that we was talking about, you had a viral moment that happened yesterday. I'm like scrolling my timeline. I'm like, Timbuktu ain't post this, but I definitely see him now. So can you, James, do you want to tell the people what was going on, and then we can address what happened?
So I'm sitting at work. I pull up the phone, and this video pops up of a car being repossessed. It flashes to the person coming out of the store, and who is it? Timbuktu.
It is I. It is I.
He was happy, wasn't he?
Sometimes hard times happen, you know what I'm saying? Comedy ain't paying yet.
Listen, and you had them Crocs on. You better put them Crocs in sport mode, man, next time.
No, but see the problem is somebody then got to my Crocs like they was the Cadillac converter and took the sport mode strap. They done took the whole strap, so it's like, I ain't got sport mode. They done took it.
Dang, your shit putting.
Facts. They ain't got no grip. My tires bald. It's terrible for them Crocs.
Listen, we done all been there. I know.
I definitely have.
In my 20s. Listen, me and my friends went out of town, aka because we stay in Akron. We went to Cleveland, so we OT. So we out. We about to go out that night. So we shopping at the mall. We come out with bags and shit. I'm like, bitch, where you parked? She's like, I don't know. I'm like, we walking around pressing the thing. I'm like, I think somebody stole your car, girl. We called the police. The car got repoed. I'm like, damn. And this before Ubers and stuff. I said, girl, what we gonna do now? She said, hey, listen, we gotta hop that good old bus. Let's check this.
They got a bus to go to Akron?
Staying in Cleveland that night. Well, they do have one to go to Akron, but we was in Cleveland that night, and I'm like, listen, a little repo ain't stopping no show. We still going out, okay?
Sure.
So definitely, listen, we done all been there. Ain't no shame in my game, honey. I'll chase them down. And see me, I'd be one of them people, you know how they be trying to outrun them and jump in the car and try to snap the thing. Like, I probably would have caught a charge for real.
He was already up in the air, so it was like nothing I could do. I thought about jumping in it and seeing if maybe my weight could hold him down, but I don't know. I think the hydraulic presses work a little better than me, so I ain't want to, break my car trying to save it, so I just was like, man, go ahead, dog, go ahead.
But listen, the comments was on your side though, because everybody was like, he too dang on funny. Give him his car back, man. He hilarious, bro. So you can always make people laugh, even in the toughest of times, huh?
I got to. I mean, I found out I'm my funniest when I'm the sickest. I was in the hospital one day. I'm like dying, and I'm really making jokes like the whole time. The nurse is like, "Please, we're trying to stick you here so we can put an IV in." I'm like, I gotta try like 3 times. This dude, he can't put a McDonald's straw in the cup. Get somebody else. I don't like it. They was just going off my veins. It was terrible.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think what got me the most was, the fact that you had a sense of humor all through it. So it's like he putting the car up and you like, listen, man, I can't walk. It's like a 3-minute walk. I got these Crocs on. Like, what am I supposed to do?
I mean, like, I was just trying to get through the situation. Like, yeah, come on, dog. Like, let me just. I know you just doing your job. Like, this is my fault. Like, I can't be mad at you. Like, I know you just doing your job, but come on, dog. Like, you gonna leave me like this? Like,
you gonna leave me like this?
Heart.
Come on, player. Right?
Have a heart. I need you to have a heart. Is there a heart? Is there a heart?
I don't know what I would do. Like, I don't know how I would have took it if the situation happened to me and then it's on video. Like, what was that feeling like to know that this is hitting the internet?
I didn't really think about it. I'll be honest, like, cause my car in the air, like,
least of my worries. Okay.
I knew who he was.
I say he's real calm.
Like, oh, come on, bro. Like I knew what it was when I seen it. I was just like,
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I'm like, oh, and it's about to be taped. Like, come on, bro. Like at this point, I'm just trying to help my GoFundMe case. Like, somebody help me. Like, y'all see I'm up in the
Right.
air. Like,
Yeah, you can put that video right there, smack dab on there. Help me get my shit back, okay?
help me get my shit back. Do it for my ankles. Do it
Do
for
it
my
for the
ankles.
You said do it for
ankles.
right.
That is
Please.
so funny. Um, so I think it's really interesting how you use physical comedy in your routines. And I am a physical comedy person. When I was little, I used to watch the Three Stooges and Big Chuck and Lil John. You know, I like that, like falling up. That's the type of comedy I do. I be when me and my friends get together, they be like, girl, we don't know if you're gonna fall out, do a split, do a flip, do something crazy. Like I think that is so funny. So what made you start doing physical things and especially using your body and different things to elicit that response?
Um, I just knew it would be funny to see, like, first off, me being a bigger guy doing certain things that they wouldn't expect a bigger guy to do. Um, I'm just like, this is gonna be hilarious. If anything, it's gonna be shock value. Um,
Mhm.
so at that point, I was just like, well, it's funny to me, so let me try it. And every time I've done anything like where I'm doing something like kind of physical like that, yeah, it
Mhm.
gets a good review. So I was just like, well, fuck it, we gonna stick with it. Like, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
I mean, and I do love physical comedy. One, because it helps bring the picture even more.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
because on stage we tell the stories. We're essentially painting you a picture. So if I can give you something to kind of attach it to, one, you're gonna remember the joke, or at
Mhm.
least the time. Even if you don't remember what I said going into it, you gonna remember what's happening after that. Like, you gonna be like, oh my god, like.
Mhm.
So I just use that as a tool to keep interest. To be honest.
Right. So like when you're down there at the improv, like talk a little bit about just the experience of being down there. Like you get the opportunity to work with some of the biggest comics now who are coming in there.
Mhm.
As you come in and you do the opening show, or usually you're like the what do they call it? Because you're not necessarily the headliner. So what's the
So they do host and they do feature.
okay,
Um,
so
yeah.
like I think the times that I've seen you, you've been like the feature act.
Well, I was the host. I was the host last year for Michael Collier. This year, I was
Okay,
a feature.
okay,
Um, and to answer your question about the experience, like honestly, it's like a dream come true. Like honestly, um, so I have been a fan of comedy my whole life.
yeah,
So going down there when it was the improv and singing comics and shit, just ordering off the menu, like it
Listen,
was.
they're my roller sticks now. I keep talking about them now. Listen, they quality, quality.
Right, right. It's like it's so dope, and then like to be able to see behind the curtain, essentially, like to see how it's ran, to see shit, even just the kitchen movement,
yeah,
um, to getting treated wonderfully. By the way, like I love the Funny Bone. I love everybody down there. The whole staff is fire. Um, it's always a great time going down there, just in general. Everybody try to, they be respectful even to like some of the rudest ones. Like I just
yeah.
seen some people that definitely deserve to
Mhm.
get kicked out and not get the treatment they was getting, and they was still treating them like Chick-fil-A workers times 10. Like, like shout out to the Funny Bone, shout out to them. They amazing down there.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just being a fan of comedy, being able to be on a stage like that is just like so dope. Like it's sick. I mean, like the first time I did it, like um the first hosting show that I did for Michael Collier. The first show after I got off stage, I almost had like not an anxiety attack, but I was definitely like, what do they call it? Like overstimulated. I was
Yeah,
mad
Yeah.
overstimulated. I was just like, this is
Mhm.
too much. Like, what is this? This is hold on. I
right,
had to
right.
go in the back, take a breather. and like really take
And
it
that
all
must have been
in.
like the first time that I saw you was when you were a host for him.
Okay. Do you remember what day you came?
I would have to look back. I can find out, but I would
Okay,
have to look.
but
I
see,
mean,
it's no big
I
deal.
always come on Saturdays, so I mean, it
Okay,
probably would have been a Saturday,
Saturday night or morning.
right? Or the nighttime, the 9:30 show.
Okay, so you might have seen that, like, so they considered that like one of the worst like shows, or because they kicked so many people out that show.
Okay. Well,
And
I don't
like,
remember. So maybe that wasn't the because what I can say is that now funny thing is he kicked people out when he was here this year, but last year
That's what
when
I
I
was about to
he didn't kick
say. He
nobody
kicked that lady out, but he gave her 1,000 chances. She kept
yeah,
saying, "I love you, Michael." He said, "I love you
yeah
too, but if you talk one more time, you out of here." She said something out, and he
yeah.
was
So maybe I did go to the
out of
Friday
here,
show.
baby.
Yeah, maybe I
Friday.
did go to maybe I did go to the Friday show because I don't remember him putting anybody out last year.
Okay. Well, that's possible, definitely possible. Because there was only one show he put somebody out last year, and I think it was one this year. It was the Saturday morning this year. Y'all
Okay.
seen that one? Saturday afternoon, I should say, because that was the only show I didn't take my shirt off, and I heard about it from everybody. I'm not gonna lie to you,
He
like,
said that too when you got off. He said, "Shit, last time he took his shirt off, y'all missing out." I'm like, "Damn, I would have caught it and swung it around like a helicopter." Come on now,
I mean, I
you
can take it
cheating
off
me
right
now.
now. Just like,
Listen, don't.
but
Listen, I give some music. I don't care. But yeah, it was so amazing seeing you guys play off of each other, and him really like giving you your flowers and telling people like give him a hand, and like so what was it like working with him, and like the first time, and like how is you guys' relationship? Do you look up to his career? Does he give you a lot of advice?
yeah, so working with him is amazing. Like he's really a top tier dude. Like he's funny for real, not just on stage funny. Like he is such a good person in general. I've had the pleasure to be on his show like I don't know 12 times or so.
Oh.
And his morning show, and like they'll call out to me when they just need a comment. He's been so like supportive for me of me in that way, like making sure I'm seen and stuff like that. um
Mm-hmm.
he he's just amazing, and even up in personal, like I asked him for like cues. I'm like, how I'm doing. He's like, oh, you're doing amazing, brother, just keep going. Like that's that first show, that Saturday, the Friday show this year. um the crowd was kind of rough, I put it
Yeah,
like that, and
yeah,
he was like, I need you to go out there and kill it. And I did. I did great. Like, and obviously it could have been. I was trying to make sure I didn't get fired by him. But
yeah, yeah,
but also, it just it's nice that he had our back in that situation as well, though.
yeah,
Like, when we came back, he's like, oh, it was just the crowd. Like, now that that helps for somebody that might be feeling like I'm down, and like
yeah,
I just feel like that's a bad show. You don't want to carry it over. He was so
yeah,
able to kind of rile us back up. If we
yeah.
needed that. Um, but he working with him is just like it's so loose. Like he, obviously he wants you to be clean, professional. Make sure you do it right. But
Yeah.
he also is trying to make sure he elevates you, or you elevate yourself, however you need to do it.
I was gonna say, like, talk a little bit about. I think just the overall experience, not specifically of working with him, but just the overall experience of working with a comic who, I mean, quite frankly, is considered a legend. Like, has been in this business for all these years, and has done everything from TV to podcasts to radio to movies to like like pretty much every media format that we have out here, he has done over all of these years. And he started at the bottom. Like, people say started from
Literally,
the bottom, now I'm here. Like, he started at the bottom,
literally.
on the beach performing. Like, what is it
Yep.
like to work with somebody of that caliber who in turn is like nice, and not just nice, but they are supportive and encouraging, and like you said, like really try to help you elevate and get to that next level, because you hear about a lot of comics specifically who don't really work with the people who are coming up, and who aren't as encouraging to the people who are coming up. And I would imagine that being in an atmosphere like that, like it's highly competitive, and you can easily be in your feelings because of how reveled somebody else may be, and then you come in and the crowd is being funny acting or whatever, and you can never really predict the crowd down there. So it's like you don't know if you're gonna get a good crowd, or because like we were there last week, and the crowd at the show that we were at, it was like mostly older people or whatever. It was with Lonnie Love, but then I guess maybe the night before it was rowdy as shit, and she said that she thought they was gonna rush the stage or whatever. So Saturday she didn't even do the meet and greet.
Yeah, I was mad.
I'll say working with somebody of his status, first off, is one of the greatest opportunities I could ask for. Like I didn't think, I didn't know going into doing his morning shows that I was going to get the opportunity, and then when I got the opportunity, I didn't know he was going to bring me back. Like, so that, not that I need to look for it, but that is such a stamp of approval that is so amazing. Like to be able to work with someone of his status, of his stature, with his legacy is like so sick. Like, and at first it definitely took me a second not to be like starstruck, like to just make sure that I'm still being me, but also nervous because like you Michael Collier, dog. Like
right. That's how I was looking at him. Like, can I get my picture, please?
Right. Like so and for him such to be a legend, like I'm not gonna lie to you, like just having this conversation just lets me know how much harder I need to be working right now, just because I have such a credible what they call that referral letter, like
you got that stamp of approval, so you got to do
and like
he's like sure.
He's somebody that like I'm glad that you have been able to work with him, because like his spirit and his attitude and just everything is like top notch. It's like for somebody who is elevating like yourself, like you need to be around people like that. Like that's God, and like I'm learning just trusting the process. Because and it's funny, Kat and I were just talking about this, and we all get in that space where like we feeling like we're not doing enough, or we're not working hard enough, or we should be much further than what we are. And that whole what is it called, Kat? When you
imposter syndrome.
Yeah, imposter syndrome.
That's me.
And like we all are dealing with it. So like to be in somebody like my experience with him, I just was like, I've been doing media since 2003. And of all of the people, like he's top 5 of the thousands of people who I have had the chance to interview with over the last 25 years almost. He's like top 5, because like at a time when I was starting my own brand and I went out and did Essence Fest, and I had already talked to him with some stuff before, but then to go out there and be in a whole different environment where I'm like a little fish in the big ass pond, and there's all these other big ass media people there, and I'm like, I got my iPhone and I got my little attachments, and I'm like, I'm gonna make this shit work and do what it do. And like for somebody like him to make you feel like you the biggest media person in the world, like you just feel like you could do anything. And I would imagine that's how you felt, doing shows with him. And like I think it's dope. I think it's really dope.
It's definitely been a blessing, man. I'm definitely fortunate, man. I definitely appreciate even like the connections that I've made because of him. Like shout out to Katie, Katie AF, Funny AF. Like she is so dope. She's a great person. Like
was that the host? That was
that was the host this year.
Okay, yeah. She was real funny.
But she's on it. She's on his show with him though, right?
Yes. She's his producer actually.
Yeah.
But she hilarious, talking about she was having the titty sitting up. I was like, okay, girl, let me
and that's another thing with her. Like she's the same person on stage as she is out. Like obviously it's a little toned down on certain occasions, but it's more like she's still like her, and I enjoy that. Same thing with Michael Collier. Like he's still him. Yes, he's bringing her performance to you, but he's still him. And I feel like because of that, I do feel at home. Like I don't feel like like I'm out of place. Like I feel like it was almost destined.
Right. And it just goes to show that all of you guys have such like these presents that you guys have, because I can literally remember a portion of each one of you guys act. You know, sometimes I go to the funny bone, I'm like, I laugh, but I can't remember really what they said, or I can't, you know, it's not like I like to go and then I'm going home and I'm gonna tell the punchline, or I'm gonna act like it's my joke or something. If it's that funny, I'm gonna go home, I'm gonna listen, I'm gonna tell a dude, like, yeah, you like that? I'm gonna laugh you right up out them drawers, baby. But I really enjoy.
Oh my God, it's working.
It's working. It's finally my evil plan. But so we have a question in the comments, and it says, whose comedy career do you look up to? So who do you look up to, or who would you like to envision, like, you know, you live in that type of life or that kind of career?
I got a couple. Eddie Murphy is amazing, and it'd be kind of perfect because I could be Professor Clump going down to Buddy Love, like versus the opposite. You know, I feel like it's perfect. Or I could be Hercules, whatever you want to do, whatever, however you want to do. Right. He's one of my favorite comedians of all time, as well as Dave Chappelle, Eddie Griffin, and DL Hughley, Cat Williams. Like, I mean, it's a few others. It's a lot others. Don't get me wrong, but those were the ones that kind of like stuck. Like, you know what I mean? Obviously Kevin Hart, his influence is amazing. Like, you know, I looked up to him just even like his business side of it. Having the LOL network and everything like that. When I had my Sirius radio, I was listening to his radio station, listening to the comedy channels and stuff like that. So I would love to have to dabble in that because I produce podcasts. And internet radio. So it's like something that I've always loved to do. I want to be a game show host. So even the Steve Harveys being from Cleveland, you know, there's a whole lot of them that I like to look at portions of what they've done and want to kind of model certain areas like that, you know. I would love to do all the movies like Eddie Murphy did after his comedy thing. I would love to do game show hosts after Steve Harvey after his comedy stuff, you know, and I would love to still be on tour like Cat Williams, like, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
I love to be able to bring you a message like Eddie Griffin does. Like, there's so many that I look up to, and shit, I'm missing Dave. I said Dave earlier, but I need to talk about Dave. Dave comedy to me is like it's kind of where I want to be. Like, I'm saying stuff that makes sense, but yet in a funny way. Like, it's like outrageous, but it's funny. Like,
right.
so it's a lot. It's a lot of them. I really just love comedy. I'm a student of it. I obviously don't know everything of comedy, but I watch a lot.
I mean, that's the cool thing is that with anything that you're doing, man, you are constantly learning. Like, even with this media thing, you know, I say again that I've been doing media since 2001, and I'm still learning something like every day. Like, it's really, really cool because I don't know if you realize, but Kat and I were cousins. So, like, you know, her being on the podcast, like the way the family dynamic is, we knew of each other, but we hadn't really like met until
for sure.
Podcast with me. So it's dope because I mean, I ain't gonna say I'm old, but I'm kind of old.
This my big cousin.
How old are you, though?
Through the process, like the journey.
How old are you, James?
Huh?
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 47, baby.
Dang. And listen, I mean, no, that's. No.
Listen, I'm 47, baby, and when I tell you I embrace it, like, it's cool because bro. Like, even with this journalism thing and media, like, when I tell you, like, I have gone through the journey, like, I've been going through the journey, so it's like to be where I'm at with it now, and for me to have the network and be doing all these different platforms, and everything is mine. Like, everything for me, it's about ownership. So it's about ownership, and I'm like, I done went to school. I got degrees. I could go work for BET or somebody or a CNN or whatever, but I want my own. So, and when you look at
y'all hiring?
Huh?
Y'all niggas hiring?
Listen, I will be. and it's, you know, to look at all these other people like the Roland Martins and all these people, like, they're going independent now because they see what it is. Like, if you put in the work and follow the journey, like, the shit will come to you, but you're constantly learning. And I'm learning so much from the dynamic of like me and Kat, because I'm like 20 years ahead of her. So, well, I ain't 20 years ahead of you. Let me stop playing. But I'm close.
Just a little bit, just a little tiny
I'm close,
bit.
though.
You know, this is my
I'm
big
just saying,
cousins,
like,
and we ended up being in the same, you know, business, doing communications and media. So it's nice that he can give me the foundations. Like, he's been doing this so long, he knows the correct way to do things, and then I'm coming in bringing the fresh new perspective and the social media side, and you know, the different things. So I feel like that kind of, you know, makes a dream team. James, check your messenger for me. So Timbuktu, what are you working on right now? Like, where can the people see you? What do you have going on right now?
So you can find me on Instagram. That's TIMBUKTU_31. It's right there on the bottom of the screen. If you can't see it, it's right there. It's right there. But we got a room. I got a room starting June 11th. I'm gonna be doing I'm calling it comedy conversation, because that's what I try to bring to a stage, is we just having a funny conversation, you know. And this room is gonna kind of more cater to that, and we're gonna have live music with it. So it'll be kind of like the 85 South feel.
Wow.
You know,
Okay.
yeah. So you know, obviously we're not doing it like them, but it's gonna be very similar. You know, very um inspired by them, I should say. And that's on June 11th. I got a whole bunch of other dates. They on top of my head, but I got one big one. I'll be doing a theater out in what's the name of the place? Lancaster, PA. Shout out to my PR, Trader Glue. He was in the comments. You know, we're working together now. He kind of helping me build my team. Like, you know, he's kind of the first piece of my team, like, per se, you know, for me to kind of focus around me. Like, I got other people that obviously that I work with, and we do things together. But me working with him is solely for my career, obviously for us to both, you know, succeed. But it's a focus on getting me out there, because I want to hit these stages, man. I'd have a lot of connections, or a lot of leads from connections I've had, and you know, he's helping me reach out to him in a more professional way. You know, keeping the pressure off me, per se. Not to say that it's that much pressure, but just helping where he could. Also putting
I like to
faces.
hear.
Absolutely.
I love to hear that, though, because a lot of people on the artist side, they don't realize how important it is to have somebody like how you have Trey the Glue. And I want to give him a shout out, because he's always in the comments, and like he's always in the comments, or he's always tagging on Instagram or that sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
liking, sharing. So definitely shout out to him for
I'm
sure.
glad that he was on here tonight. But it's really important to have somebody like that on your team who, like you said, can help you reach out in a more professional way. And there's a number of things, like when you're trying to get events and shows and things like that, a lot of people won't give you the time of day if you don't have somebody representing you. Because they look at you, and they shouldn't, but they look at you a certain way if you don't have representation. Like, they look at you like you low budget, or you low level, or you not really a real comedian, or you like it.
Wow.
Just to have somebody on your team, it works wonders. So, like, it's really, really good to have him on board. So kudos to him. Shout out to him for being in the comments and tagging on our stuff. But that's dope to hear. I just wanted to highlight that because it is important.
Yeah, it's definitely been dope. And you know, so we're doing that September 19th, I believe.
Okay.
And they going all out. They trying to theme like a whole like dinner menu based off me and everything. So I'm looking forward to that.
Get the chicken tenders ready.
That is what's up.
We got the Timbuktu burger right now. Timbuktu bacon burger right now. And then I think we're gonna have a buck sauce. I'm trying to figure it out.
Ooh, that is so exciting.
I really like that for you. I love to see people coming up and eating and like getting to the next level. And like, for me,
I'm
it's
always
all
eating,
about celebrating somebody else and being able to collaborate and being able to spotlight people. And, you know, that's what I got all these platforms for, to be able to bring people like yourself on and really spotlight what you're doing. Like, I think what you're doing is amazing. And for me, it's about the people who are behind me that want to get into this and do it. And they need to be able to see people like Kat and I podcasting and doing our own thing and building our own foundation, and people like you that's getting out here and building your foundation and making the right connections, and like your spirit, your person, like everything about you speaks like major comedian. Like you're gonna blow it. Like you are gonna blow, and it's so good for the city. Like it's so good for the city.
And I can't wait, because I'm like, that is my friend, y'all.
Don't act like you don't know us. I tell everybody that when I tell people I know you, don't be like, I don't know that nigga. I don't know.
We didn't share some chicken tenders. Now come on.
Then we gonna show out, man. Like
for sure. And now that you're part of the UGD family, we'll definitely be there to support you any way you can. So let us know whenever you have something coming up, or you want us to, share, post, or anything. We definitely got you.
I appreciate it. Definitely appreciate it.
And
thank y'all. I think y'all doing amazing too. Like obviously, I done came on a couple shows. Like you said,
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Appreciate you so much.
I wanna come down and kick it with y'all. Y'all be down. Y'all the Funny Bowl crew for real. I'm trying to come kick it with y'all.
Listen, we finna be there this weekend for Bill Bellamy, and that's my thing. Is like, it's just like with anything. Like if you starting a business or entrepreneur or whatever, like you got to be able to put something into it or invest into it or whatever. And the reality is, these people tickets, they do not be in the budget. But I'm just like, I just be making it happen. And I just make it happen because the thing, number one, I like to support everybody. And it's not just about people here, or it's not just about the major celebrities. Like I want to support the comics when they come into town. So we try to get them tickets and make sure that we be there. Even if she can't go, I try to get down there, or if I can't go, get down there
just to support. And then also, these people sometimes, especially with Cleveland, they act like it's not a major city, or they don't want to come and things like that. And I really hate that. So I love that, we try to go out and support and show that, you have supporters here, you have professional people that want you here, you have people that will do promo, that will work with you, and I think we just got so much talent in this city. We just trying to put everybody on the map.
Absolutely.
So much crazy. So what is next for Timbuktu? What is next for you? Like what's you got going on? Like what's your next dreams, or what do you want to accomplish next? Like what's I have a dream. What's Timbuktu's dream? Like what you got next? Because I know you working on some stuff.
So my first goal right now is to make it to dinner, because I'm so hungry. I ain't ate nothing all day. I got some beef stew in there. I want to go ahead and make some of that or something, because I'm hungry. No, that beef
stew. But let me say this though. Why do Black people make vegetable soup? And we gonna put some meat in it, but it's still very much vegetable soup. Do y'all know that? Like I was thinking about that the other day. Now, if I put some vegetables, I'm still gonna put some beef or something in there. But somebody like, what's that? Like, go in there and get some vegetable soup. The hell?
I mean, because you just like garnish. It's like a meat garnish. You know what I'm saying?
Meat
it's not
garnish.
The same. It's not the same. You just putting a little bit of meat in there. But that's vegetable soup. That's a vegetable stock.
Right, the vegetable stock. I think that's what makes the difference.
It's a vegetable stock.
No, so you said make it to dinner. So what other goals? Some big goals, or what do you got going on in your future?
So big. A goal that obviously I'm very close to hitting is I haven't done any. I haven't done a comedy performance outside of Ohio. So I want to get out of Ohio. So I'm glad that the PA show is booked. But I'm trying to hit everywhere. I just got invited down to Dayton, so I'm gonna do something in Dayton. I was just at the Laugh on the Lake with you, Sean, and I DJ. So I met a lot of a lot of comedians there, and they were from Toledo. So I got invited up to Toledo. So I'm just trying to, hit a couple different places, Detroit even. I heard Detroit is great, and I got a couple comedy connects up there.
Absolutely.
So,
I'm
like keep us posted. Like when you hit Detroit, or
we travel.
Toledo, or like we will travel.
I
Like
thought he just wanted to go to Detroit so he can get some weed. I was like, sure, yeah, I'll tell you.
Listen, that's number one. I can't wait to take
listen,
James. I
we'll
can't wait to
make
take
it down
James
there for
up
that if
there.
we need to, but we definitely want to support, man. So like, and it's nothing like going to another city and seeing people from your own city there supporting you.
For sure. No, I definitely will feel good.
I try to do that, especially once we start bringing people onto the podcast and the different platforms that we have. We try to travel and go out and actually support. I know that Artinka Tierra, she's doing shows and
shout out to Ting. She actually the one that got me hooked up with Trading Blue. So shout out.
Yeah, and that's the thing that I like to see is us working together. Yeah, so the fact that she got you connected, like I think that's mad dope. And we talk about a lot of the same stuff. Like that's mad dope, man.
A lot of people don't know how much Artika does behind the scenes with different things. Like she is a boss on her own. Yeah. Definitely love her.
I think it ain't tonight. I hope it ain't tonight. I'm pretty. I think it's Friday.
Okay.
It's Friday. But yeah, she's amazing. She's dope. She's ultra super talented, and then she's like an amazing person. So like, shout out
to Prince Nana too.
Prince Nana in the building, international
he's all the way in Ghana.
I was gonna say I want to come over there too. I'm trying to come over to Africa.
Hey,
I'm trying to go to Timbuktu, and Timbuktu has to happen. Like
for sure.
I want to go to Timbuktu so bad.
Yeah.
Yes. So shout out all your social media and where people can follow you and support you.
So Timbuktu _31. That is how you find me on Instagram and on TikTok. Timbuktu is actually a breakdown of my name. Tim, obviously my first name. My last name is Washington. I'm on every dollar. That's where the buck come from. And 2, because I'm a junior. And that's how you can find me on Facebook, Timothy Washington Jr.
Wow.
But everything else,
I like that.
I appreciate it.
That's clever.
He finna be right at the top. He ain't next to nobody. Like he finna be right at the top, and everybody gonna be trying to.
He said he top 2 and he ain't number 2. Okay.
I ain't trying to get Drake's now. I ain't trying to get
Drake's. Oh no! Oh wait a minute! Whoa!
Because that's what Drake said. He said I'm top 2 and I'm not 2. So.
Listen, Drake damn near don't exist no more thanks to Kendrick. So we ain't.
Yeah, he said I'm just gonna go back to making some pop music or some little, just making his little thing. He said F the rap game. I'm sorry, I didn't know what I was thinking. Hilarious. So thank you so much for coming through. This was an interview that was a long time in the making. Like James said, we know that you are going to be at the top, and we are looking forward to seeing what you do next.
Cool. Right, I'm gonna get cleaned up because I look rough. I look like the Geico caveman right now. I don't even know what's going on.
Hey, we don't know if we about to save 20% more or not. Hey, we don't know.
Oh God. No, but I appreciate y'all for having me on. This is an amazing experience.
Absolutely, man.
You guys,
and we'll have you back on, man. So like this ain't it. This is not the end all be all. Like we will absolutely have you back on. Like I appreciate you for supporting us because outside of you coming on tonight, I know you be in the comments and you be on the shows and you be liking it,
sharing and liking and everything. We appreciate that so much.
For sure, of course, man. Support is free.
It's free. Say it again, y'all. Support is free. Right. Listen, people love money. We love bucks. You can see at the scroller at the bottom, we do have our Cash App down there. But listen, like, share, subscribe. Tell your friends anything, even if you don't like the show, tell somebody else about it. They probably like it, So definitely thank you for having for coming on Timbuktu, and until next time, we will be seeing you.
Yes, I'm trying to have Cat get my tongue.
Oh, that's tomorrow now. Be there tomorrow.
All right, man.
All right, bye.
Look at you. Look at you, Cat. Listen. Trying to have Cat.
I told you, listen. It's a hot girl summer, okay?
Hey. No, I appreciate him for coming on.
We appreciate him so much. Like I've been looking forward to this, especially after our hiatus. So we are going to go from that hot interview to a couple hot topics. Listen, y'all know we've been on Diddy Watch. We've been watching Diddy for a minute. And let me tell you something, because we was
going
on the
down.
allegations. We was on the allegations before he went to court and before people was really talking about it. So let me just say that here at Transcending the Culture, because we was doing Diddy watching. Remember, people was, y'all always talk about Diddy and it ain't even nothing going on. And bada bing, bada boom, them charges came. So let's get into it. James, Diddy is crazy. Okay. The man's crazy. So I'm gonna, let me just give you guys a quick synopsis on some things that have happened with the court proceedings, and then me and James are going to get into our opinions and everything to go along with it. So as you guys know, Diddy,
and make sure y'all come on before you get started. I want to tell them to make sure that you guys come on to UGD Live tomorrow, because I'm gonna talk a little bit about it tomorrow as well. Also, I have a guest on UGD Live. I'll be posting that later tonight. So make sure that you guys are checking out Instagram so that you see that. But UGD Live will be on from 7 until about 7:45 tomorrow. And then Cat Got Your Tongue will be on at 8. Okay, go ahead.
Directly after that. Yeah, so you guys let us know in the comments how you guys feel about Diddy's trial. If you guys have any questions or comments, definitely sound off below. So as you guys know, Diddy is standing trial for the RICO charge, where he is getting charged with basically sex crimes and sex trafficking type of crime. So I know people are very confused about the charges and how, you know, a lot of people are saying this is a domestic violence case, when really the fact of when you're using, you know, domestic violence and all these threats and violence and things, multiple crimes, and you're doing it over multiple state lines, as well as making money and, you know, just kidnapping and all those things. That is why it came to a RICO, because it wasn't just one victim, it wasn't just one charge, and there was a whole circle of corruption that was going on around him. So that's really what they're trying to prove. And the biggest, go ahead.
I know. I was just going to ask you to I guess really break down what RICO is for the people who don't.
So for a RICO charge, it's basically like a criminal mastermind organization. So that means you are the head of an organization. Now, this can be a gang, but in Diddy's case, it was the business of the people under him. So he had assistants, bodyguards, sex workers, hotel workers, security, sex workers, and all these different people committing a pyramid of crimes. Gotcha. And he's at the top. So that's what it is to have a RICO, because we saw Young Thug get charged with the RICO charge, right, and it didn't go through because they could not prove that he was doing these crimes. And that it's basically you at the head of the pyramid and you basically corrupting everybody to do something, multiple different types of crimes, and it's an organization. There's also money being made. That's another big indicator of the RICO. You're getting money, you're doing crimes, and you're the top of this organization. So that's really why he's getting this, because, you know, he was doing sex crimes with the women, also with artists. So a lot of artists, he was drugging them, doing sexual crimes, recording them, and then forcing them into contracts, forcing them into relationships, basically. And that's what it is. It wasn't just, it's a difference between just being freaky. If everybody was just being freaky and everybody was cool, and that's not what this was. He was genuinely drugging baby oil. He was putting drugged baby oil on people, having them do these sex crimes, and then recording them, and then saying, okay, well, you with me now, or you got to work for me, or you got to, and would control them, and would, use those tactics to keep them in check. And one of the biggest victims and longest victim was Cassie, which was his girlfriend. And so come to find out that, he had her sleeping with multiple men, multiple sex workers, and having these freak offs. And they were so frequent and so rough that at the end of the freak off, she had sores in her mouth and would have to get IVs. And then also she began having medication resistant UTIs and bacterial infections and things like that. And so it got to a point where she was just so brutalized by the things that he was doing. Also, they got the footage of him beating her, and the fact that he paid off the different people, that was a big indicator of the RICO, because he not only beat her and he prevented her from leaving, which is a kidnapping charge. And then the people that his bodyguards helped him. So that's a collusion to kidnapping.
Right.
And then the hotel clerk and security were paid off to erase it. So that's really what's showing that it's not just him beating on her. It's not just that he's committing these high levels of crime. And that's why he's getting this RICO charge. It's not just, the run of the mill, like we see a lot of athletes and celebrities get a lot of sexual assault. Like we see Harvey Weinstein or Bill Cosby, they get all of those. But the fact that Diddy was having this pyramid where he was making money and doing so much different thing, that's why he got a RICO charge rather than just getting a slew of charges like the other people.
Yeah.
That's kind of what makes it different, because let's think about how long he had some of these people locked in contracts for decades. Cassie was in a decade-long contract, and every time she left, people say, "Why wouldn't she leave?" Well, we saw when she tried to leave, he beat her up, and dragged her back.
Right.
And then also come to find out in the trial, he had threatened to release, sex tapes and things like that of her, to the point that her mom had to take a mortgage out on her house just to pay him like $50,000. And come to find out, it wasn't about the money. He didn't want the money, because he turned around and sent the money right back 2 days later. It was about the control. It was about her knowing that no matter what you do, no matter how far you get away, I'll still control you. And so we had damning testimony from Cassie, as well as Kid Cudi, basically confirming Kid Cudi and his ex-assistant Capricorn, confirming basically the story of he did put a Molotov cocktail in Kid Cudi's car when he found out that they were dating, and also was in his house and doing very stalking allegations, to another man over a relationship when they were supposed to be done. So it was just a lot of things that was going on. Her friend, he beat up friends, he beat up family members of hers. It's just so many allegations, and then just a lot of weird things, like he would make her have sex with these men and wear a full burqa like a Middle Eastern woman, because he didn't want to be seen, so he was doing things and he was still protected. So that's why a lot of people were like, well, wouldn't it fall back on him? Well, no, because he wasn't seen in these things. He was making sure he was very calculated, and they say he had tapes and stuff going back decades on people. So this is why it's just so much stuff that has been going on. So now that you guys are caught up, let us know what is some of the freakiest stuff you heard about the trial. Like, the thing that really got me is they were saying he was making her get the man milk on him, the man milk on her, and then come in there and rub on his nipples.
Right.
What the hell did he?
Yeah.
Like, listen, I done been in some freaky things, Diddy. I done did some things. But what the heck?
Because I think that's like, I think that was the thing that the twins were in the courtroom when that came out. And then
and they left the courtroom when that happened. And I understand that was hurtful for them, but your dad literally did that. The multiple sex workers and Cassie confirmed that was a thing that he loved to do at the end of these sessions, was to get the milk rubbed on him. And it just was like, I didn't heard a lot of pleasurable things, but that was just, it just seemed like he just was into like humiliating her. Just, I don't really know what was going on, but it just, the things that he did, I just can't even believe that this is real life. Like, this is real. And I know he has to be so embarrassed that it's coming out, but if you embarrassed that's coming out, you shouldn't have did that shit.
That part.
You should have did it. So what do you think, James, about all of this? What was the craziest moment or that you heard about the case, or whatever?
I mean, outside of the car blowing up, and then the testimony from Capricorn Clark. That really got me, just all of the details. And they tried to paint her. They really tried to paint her, in a certain way, because of the fact that, in moments where she kind of was away from him, and then she went back to him, and she still was working for him, and it just, I think that was probably like the craziest stuff that I've heard outside of, what you was just talking about. It's a lot, and I think what's just wild to me and so many other people is just that all of this stuff has been going on and nobody really had a clue. Like, how has he covered this up for all these
so
years?
long?
Like all these years that he's been covering this up. And I mean, people been saying stuff, and there's been little stories and stuff out there. But when when you're dealing with celebrities and stuff like that comes out, if people can't really prove it, a lot of times that shit just blow over. So I mean,
so like we've heard the rumor of Diddy's parties. I remember when I was younger, I heard rumors of Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, being a cross-dresser. I remember that was always a joke. And it's like whenever you hear these little jokes in Hollywood, it's like it's where smoke is fire. It's always something like, and they're really coming out now.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. I did want to talk about the media coverage and how callous a lot of people are covering this, and how it just is, I think especially with the Black media, I feel that the victims are being very disrespected, especially Cassie, which like Cameron had one of the sex workers on yesterday on his show. And out of all the stuff you could ask, he asking, well, was the cat good? And was how was she in bed? And this and that. And I was just like, you are too damn old to be acting like that. Like, I feel like I understand, it's a curiosity thing, and we want to know all about the celebrities, but I was just like, that's what you asking and giggling about. Like, I didn't like that. And also, so there was the witness that remained anonymous, and academics actually doxed her and released her information and things like that, and which can be very dangerous and can actually, people not understanding that the coverage of these can really sway the case, because they were looking at throwing out as a mistrial because her identity was released and it was not supposed to. So I really think that they should have closed the gallery, that it should have been a closed trial. Honestly, I think it should have been a closed trial because it's becoming a shit show.
I think that I wouldn't be surprised if moving forward they just decided that, what is it, the remainder of the trial is just going to be closed off to media and whatnot. And it really
they've been blocking different people from coming back. Have you seen that?
Well, I hadn't seen that, but it sucks though that this is where Black media has gone to. I think that's why I push so hard to do a lot of what we're doing, and just be different and stand out from everything else that's out there. And I know what sells, and I know that people want the tea and they want all this other shit, but I just think it sucks though. I think it sucks for the culture, and it's just to me it's bad all around. To me it's bad all around. I do like the coverage that Lauren LaRosa has been doing.
She's one of the ones that is very credible. I know some people she had got some backlash for a little bit of things she said, but I think for the most part she's been an accurate. And also Armand.
Oh yeah, Armand Wiggins.
Yeah, Armand Wiggins. I've been watching him. He does pretty well as well. And so there's a couple people that you can go that sit in the gallery, or have, what they've been doing is sending an affiliate to sit in the gallery, and then they kind of relay the information on what's going on. But I heard that they banned all of Tasha K's people because her and academics people were the ones trying to dig, and I guess she had posted some of the Mia's information on her site. So I was hearing that her people are banned.
The question I have is, when they're seeing who's posting, the information and stuff, are they going to go after these people?
That has yet to be said. It's not a crime for someone not affiliated with the case to do that. So it would be a crime if this was Diddy's people, or if it was someone with ties to Diddy or his defense team. But they could probably maybe get obstruction, of justice or some kind of charge like that. But it would be hard to prove, especially on social media. It would just be too hard to prove and too hard to prosecute. So that's why they've just been kind of limiting who's coming in, who's, and really keep track of basically what they're posting. And then if you get caught posting something that they don't like, then you just won't be allowed back in. So, that's really all that's going on. But prayers to all the victims.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to be more things coming out. I think some different things came out today about the trial. What did they say? Something had came out. They were just talking about their drug use and the that they were both heavy drug users and things like that. I think that now what they're doing is trying to take away the credibility of the witnesses. Like, they're not denying the charges or what happened anymore. They kind of shifted from saying he didn't do this or stuff, because it's a lot of this stuff was proven. Especially once you have more than one witness to corroborate. One witness is enough to corroborate something in a court of law, but having multiple witnesses saying the same thing and it's on the same dates that happen. So I think now he's kind of attacking like Cassie and Capricorn and people like that. And it's really sucks that he keeps saying, well, they came back and worked for me, or they came back and did this, but you also were blackmailing them.
Right.
You were also controlling. You was also, Capricorn said he would pull up at any time outside her house and get in the car, and she don't know what's going on. Right. So it's a lot. People don't know what they would do until it's done. Until it's them and their livelihood on the line and their money and things like that. So, I pray that we get a best outcome as we can. Cassie is already paid. I think she paid dearly for the things, that she went through. Absolutely. And, we'll be talking about this some more tomorrow on UGD Live, as well as Cat Got Your Tongue. And tomorrow, guys, I'll be discussing a lot of different topics. We're going to be talking Halle Bailey and DDG, as well as we're going to be talking about Streamers University that was down here on Akron U campus. So I'll have some details about that as well. And then we're definitely going to be talking about Cardi B and Offset and Stefan Diggs. So please listen, that nigga Offset, I know his heart in his asshole right now.
Right.
Tore him up. So tomorrow, be there. I'm telling you, Cat Got Your Tongue. We're going to be talking them topics. So make sure you're there. And we have guest TZ the Don. So we're going to be talking some music. I got my little fluff daddies with me this week. So make sure y'all here tomorrow. And then, James, who is your guest for UGD Live?
Actually, let me pull that up right now. Let me see. I just had it. So yeah, on UGD Live tomorrow, we are going to talk a little bit more about the Diddy stuff. Not a whole lot.
I know you got what's her name, Nardia?
Yeah, that's who my guest is.
Nardia. Yeah,
so her name is Nardia. She is a soul singer. You know what? Who she kind of reminds me of a little bit is Joss Stone. I was trying to remember. I used
to love some Joss Stone. I'm telling you. I love me some Blue Eyed Soul. Timbuktu in the comments. Fluff Daddy Week. Listen, we out here. Listen, the Fluff Daddies is in for the week, baby. They in for life. So we're gonna talk. I'm gonna talk to TZ the Don tomorrow. We're gonna talk about some Fluff Daddy loving, because he has some definitely loving music. If you trying to get grown and sexy, you try to put on something that make a girl drop something, then be there tomorrow, okay? Be there tomorrow. We gonna Cat gonna have your tongue tomorrow, okay?
No, I think that's gonna be a dope show. And then I have Nardia on UGD Live. That's tomorrow at 7.
So
we'll just be on for
I'm
about
excited.
So,
okay, so I'll drop in. I might have a question or two, or might be in the comments. But I would definitely be in the building for UGD Live. And then Cat Got Your Tongue, Aaron, right after that. Do we have any other announcements or anything we need for tonight?
No, I think
okay. Well, make sure you guys are following us. Me and James have been going live on TikTok, so make sure you guys follow us on TikTok. I will be getting back to my live schedule. We talked on this a little bit earlier. Your girl Kat has been dealing with some mental and imposter syndrome and all those things, but I'm getting through it. I'm going through it and I'm growing through it. So I'm back, y'all. I'm back posting. I'm back on my thing.
We are back.
And we're back. We back like we never left. So make sure you guys are here. Make sure you guys are here next week, and we're gonna have a great show for you. Follow me on all platforms at Cat Queen.
And I'm on all platforms at I am James Grant, and then you can also get my my second Instagram, which is Authentically James. So make sure that you guys follow us. TikTok, I am James Grant. So yeah, that's it. No other announcements. I appreciate everybody for tuning in to us tonight. I see people trickling in, and some leaving, and then some coming back, and I appreciate you. I know Kat appreciates you. Timbuktu,
always.
Thank you again so much for coming on the platform. We definitely will have you back on. We will have some footage from this weekend at the show with Bill Bellamy, so make sure that you guys are checking that out. And that's all I got, Kat.
All right, y'all. We'll see y'all soon. Bye.
Stop looking at me like that, Kat.